This is Leonard Nimoy. Most of us, I dare say, have a reasonably healthy love of adventure. We like to do new things and visit unfamiliar places. We don't even mind taking a little bit of a risk now and then, all within reason, of course. To truly wager life and limb in pursuit of adventure is only for the very few. Rarer still is that breed of person who cannot resist setting forth even though he knows the outcome is almost certain to be death. But there are circumstances so enticing that even we ordinary people might be willing to risk everything.
I'm telling you, it's out there, Chester.
I'm sorry, Ernie.
But there's the proof right there in front of you. What more do you want?
I'm not going to help you.
We'll be millionaires. We'll be set for life.
Yeah, that's just what I'm thinking of, pal. My life.
What's happened to you anyway? In the old days, you were never afraid of a little risk.
Look, just chalk it up to failure of nerve and let it go at that, okay?
But it's out there, Chet. We know it's out there, and we know exactly where to go to look for it. All we have to do is dig it up.
Legends of buried treasure have always exercised a strong pull on our imaginations. We know there are still hoards of untold wealth. The historical record tells us they exist, if only we knew where to look. Our tale is about three people who think they know exactly where to look for one of the greatest treasures of all time, Captain Kidd's. And that's only the beginning of our story.
Mutual Radio Theater, a new adventure in radio listening. 5 nights of exceptional entertainment every week. Brought to you in Elliott Lewis's production of the Mutual Radio Theater. Our story, The Treasure of Grand Caicos, by Percy Granger. Our stars, Tom Brown, Vic Perrin, and Jim Mapp.
There is an elite breed of person, the professional adventurer, the soldier of fortune, who will routinely risk their lives in hope of gain. The rest of us are all content to sit back and read about their exploits in the papers. But we are all susceptible to the fever of the hunt. And when that fever strikes, it can become an obsession that will give us no rest. Listen now to one of the strangest tales of modern times.
My name is Chester Dawson. I guess you'd have to call me a drifter now, but once I was half owner of a charter fishing boat in the Florida Keys. The story I'm about to tell concerns my former partner, Ernie Chowders. It happened 5 years ago, but even now, I still can't believe it. Began a little street cafe in a small town on an island in the Caribbean. And like now, I was drifting. I hadn't seen Ernie in several years.
Chester, is that you?
Ernie, what are you doing way out here?
I could ask you the same question.
You still hiring out the lazy Sally?
Oh yeah, we still got the boat.
And Tom's still with you, huh?
Still the first mate and chief bottle washer. Lazy Sally wouldn't be the same without Tom. A couple of years ago, we had a good season. I was going to buy a new boat. Tom wouldn't hear of it. He said it'd be bad luck if we ever sailed another boat.
Still as superstitious as ever, huh?
That always bothered you, didn't it?
I guess so. So, what are you doing here? There can't be many wealthy fishermen in a small port like this.
Well, it's part of the Caribbean I hadn't seen before. You know me, turning a buck never did matter that much.
I know, that's why we dissolved the partnership.
So, how's it work for you? You a millionaire yet?
Well, I kept myself from starving.
But, you could be doing better.
Who couldn't?
Look, Chet, why don't you come down to the harbor? Say hi to old Tom. See the boat. Maybe we'll have something to talk about, okay?
Ernie, you ain't in any kind of trouble, are you?
Why do you say that?
No, you just seem a little jumpy.
Look, there she is.
Yeah.
Come on aboard. Tom, come up topside and look who I got with me.
Lunch will be ready in a minute, Mr. Chowders.
Well, set another place. Come on up here. Look who I got with me.
Mr. Dawson.
Yeah, how are you, Tom?
Well, I guess I'm all right. Maybe a little more waterlogged than before.
And how's the old boat running?
She stays afloat. Mr. Chowders wanted to scuttle her a few years back. I told him to just be asking for trouble.
You want to go out for a spin after lunch, Chet, for old time's sake?
Oh, I'd like that, Ernie. Yeah, I think I'd like that a lot.
Good. Why don't you walk around a bit, get your sea legs back?
Did you tell him, Mr. Chowders?
No, I haven't had a chance yet.
Well, don't you think you ought to? Maybe you won't want to come if he knows what we'll do.
There is no risk, you know that. We don't have to worry as long as we don't find anything.
It's a fact I'll feel easier with another person along. You think he still carries that pistol?
Shh. Here he comes. Get below and make lunch.
Okay, but you tell him, Mr. Chowders, the whole truth. He's your friend.
So, what do you think? Still the same old lazy Sally, huh?
Yeah, she could use a few repairs, don't you think?
Well, maybe here and there.
A new coat of paint? How do you expect to drum up business if she's not looking her best?
Chet, Tom and we aren't in the charter business anymore.
Oh? You're not into something illegal, are you?
No. It's nothing like that.
Well, what is it?
You ever hear of Caicos Island?
Sure. It's on the tail end of the Bahamas, isn't it?
That's right. It's across less than 100 miles of open water from this port. Entirely uninhabited.
So?
You ever hear of the Quidam Merchant?
No.
How about Captain Kidd?
Captain Kidd?
Chet, the Quidam Merchant was a ship he captured nearly 3 centuries ago. On board, he found what was reputed to be the single richest prize ever taken by a pirate on the Spanish Main. Gold coins, ingots of silver, jewels. It's an unbelievable treasure.
Which he supposedly buried on Caicos Island?
Not supposedly, he did. He buried it there before he returned to New York to stand trial. He thought he could clear himself and return for it, but he never did, because he was sent to England and executed.
Oh, Ernie, they claim this treasure buried on half the islands in the Caribbean.
But it's known for a fact Kidd buried this treasure on Caicos. He left a map carved in one of the rocks around the island. No one's ever been able to find it, but if we could, we'd be rich.
This is why the lazy Sally needs a new coat of paint, huh?
We've been making a methodical search, one section of the shoreline at a time. This could be the day, Chester. There's only a small strip of beach on the leeward side we still haven't explored. What do you say?
Well, I think I've had it with wild cards and long shots.
Oh, this is no long shot. It's really there.
Story before, and it's a legend like all the others. There's no proof he actually buried his treasure there.
What if I had proof, Chet? What if I could show you proof that it is there? What would you say then?
The lure of fabulous wealth, as ancient a dream as history itself. El Dorado, King Solomon's mines, the treasure of Montezuma, and the lost booty of the pirates of the Spanish Main. Imagine that such a fortune were within your reach.
I tell you, Chet, I've got proof. Here, look at this.
Where is it?
A Spanish doubloon, pure silver. I found it on Caicos the first time I went there.
All right, but how do you know this is part of Kidd's treasure?
Look here. You see the imprint? You see these numbers down at the bottom? It's like a serial number. I wrote to the National Archives in Madrid and got a copy of the Quidam Merchant's Manifest, and there it was. The numbers on this coin match the manifest. This coin came from the ship that Kidd plundered.
National Archives Manifest? You've really gotten into this, haven't you?
Because it's really there. So what do you say? You want us to cut you in?
What's the catch?
Well, there is no catch.
They say Captain Kidd vowed from the gallows that he'd come back and keep watch over that treasure.
Will you shut up with your damn superstitions?
Oh, come on, Larry. Come on, take it easy now.
All right. Well, Chet, you ain't got nothing else going for you, have you?
No. All right, I'll come. Just for the ride, Ernie. Just for the lazy Sally.
We always come at low tide, so we can examine the whole beach.
Ernie, this is hopeless. There are thousands of rocks. No wonder the treasure's safe, even if the map does exist.
I've only got a few more yards to cover.
Well, how come Tom stays on the boat? Wouldn't it go faster if he helped?
Well, he's a kind of lookout.
Lookout? Why?
Mr. Chowders! It's here!
Oh, damnation, not again.
What's here?
Mr. Chowders!
Oh, we got to get back to the boat. Quick.
Over there, to the left, Mr. Chowders. Focus the glass on the horizon.
I don't understand it every time. How do they know?
How does who know? Hey, Tom, what's going on?
Mr. Chowders didn't tell you?
No, but someone better. Are we in danger?
They must have spies everywhere.
Who must?
Here's the binoculars. Look for yourself.
Looks like the mast of a boat.
It's a yacht. She's high speed and heavily armed.
Yeah? Well, who owns it?
It belongs to a syndicate. Big people. They're headquartered down the coast from Monte Cristi, the port we put out of.
Well, who are these people?
Well, nobody's ever seen them, but they know the legend of Caicos, too. They tail every boat that comes out here, and they sit out there just over the horizon and wait.
Oh, I see. And if the treasure is ever found, they sweep down, take it, and most likely kill whoever had the misfortune to discover it, huh? So that's why you were so anxious to cut me in.
Oh, I thought maybe with you along I wouldn't lose my nerve.
Tom, you start up the engine and get us out of here. I left the port of Monte Cristi that same night, and I didn't see Ernie or Tom again for a long time. And when I had to pass through Monte Cristi again on my way back to the States, I was still angry. I decided not to see them, assuming they were even still there. But something made me linger.
Mr. Dawson?
Oh, hello, Tom.
I thought that was you.
Yeah, well, I'm just passing through.
I guess I couldn't blame you much for not coming down to the Lazy Sally. It wasn't right of Mr. Charters not to tell you the whole story.
And have you found the treasure yet?
No. That trip we made with you, it was the last one.
Then why are you still here?
Mr. Dawson, I wouldn't blame you if you said no. But I think you ought to go see Mr. Chowders.
Why?
Something terrible's happened. He hasn't left the boat for 3 months. He's in a bad way.
Why? What happened?
It was that day we went out to Caicos. The day you came with us.
I went with Tom down to the harbor. When I saw the Lazy Sally, I was startled by her appearance. She'd assumed the aspect of a ghost ship. If I'd been superstitious or even smart, I'd have taken that as a warning, but I didn't. If the change in the boat surprised me, it was nothing compared to the change in Ernie.
He's down below, Mr. Dawson, in the cabin. He doesn't even come up on deck. Just stays in there with the portholes closed and the blinds pulled shut tight.
Who's there? Tom, is that you?
No, it's me, Ernie.
Chester?
Yeah. Oh, Ernie, it's stifling in here. Why don't you open some portholes?
No. No, they might see in.
Who might?
The syndicate people, Mr. Dawson.
They've been after him?
Because of what I've got, Chet. You won't believe it. Tom, were you followed?
No, sir.
Ernie, what have you got the syndicate would want? The treasure?
Yes.
How? Tom said you hadn't been back out.
But I know where it is. You remember, when we went out that day, as we were leaving, I took some pictures.
To try and convince the syndicate we were just harmless tourists.
Yeah.
I don't think they were fooled.
But I had them developed, Chet. And look at this one.
Some of the rocks on the beach and the sunset. So?
Well, look at the rock in the foreground. You see how the sun is striking it?
Are those markings?
Yes, it's the map. It's the map, I tell you. We walked right past it and couldn't see anything because the sun wasn't hitting it at the correct angle. But this photograph caught the angle, and there's the map made by Captain Kidd. All we have to do is decipher the markings, and the treasure is ours.
Oh, yeah, great. Only what about the syndicate, huh?
That's the problem, Mr. Dawson. There's no way we can get the treasure, and Mr. Chowder's been tearing himself apart from the inside out.
Don't you see how close we are? It's all here. It's all here in the photograph. And all we have to do is get it.
Which is more powerful, the mind or the universe? The philosopher would say the mind, because it can encompass the universe plus 1 inch. But the human mind is also the only organism that will torture itself with its own remorseless workings. Like the mind of Ernie Chowders, as he sits in his darkened cabin and stares at a photograph day after day.
But you can't go back out there, Ernie. The Lazy Sally can't outrun a high-powered yacht.
Chet, I know that, damn it. Don't you think I know that? But we've got to do it.
It's been this way for months, Mr. Dawson. Can't you do something?
Now that you're here, Chet, we can go.
No, absolutely no.
With you along, I'd be brave enough.
It's not a question of bravery, Ernie. It's common sense.
Oh, we were just waiting for you to come back.
Now, you listen to me. You listen to me. There's no way I'm ever going back to Caicos, and neither are you. So just put it out of your mind. You understand me?
Yeah, you're right, Chet. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Good. So, take care of yourself.
Mr. Dawson, you going?
Yeah, I gotta catch the evening bus to Puerto Plata. Gotta make tomorrow's flight to Miami.
Oh, what's in Miami?
I got a job lined up. Big company with a whole fleet of charter boats.
Oh, they hire you as a skipper.
No, actually, I'll be working on shore in the marina, scraping hulls. I guess it's not what I was hoping for when I left the Lazy Sally, but it is a steady job, and it's the first one I've had in a long time.
A hell, a job's a job, I know that. But what about Mr. Chowders?
Oh, he'll be okay, Tom. Now that he's decided to face up to reality. That's what I've done. That's what we all have to do. Yeah, well, so you take care, huh?
Chester? Is that you, Chester? Oh, when did you get here? I didn't see you right off. I've been looking at this photograph. Chet, you're not going to believe what I've got here.
Oh, Tom.
This is how it's been. That's what I was trying to tell you. Sometimes I don't think he's in his right mind.
Okay, you're right. I can't leave him this way.
Oh, now that Chet's here, we can go, Tom.
Ernie, the only place you're going is up on deck for some fresh air.
Oh, no, I can't leave this photograph unguarded.
Tom, you ventilate this place. It's like a tomb.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dawson.
And then wrestle us up something to eat. And this evening, we'll have a little talk. You haven't lost your touch with a meal, Tom.
Thanks, Mr. Dawson. Coffee?
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Chet?
Yeah.
You still carry that gun?
Yeah, why?
That lessens the odds a bit.
Ernie, are you ever going to stop thinking about this treasure?
I've been figuring it out.
Oh, boy, I guess that answers my question, doesn't it?
The syndicate boat won't actually make a move on us until they see we've really got the treasure, right?
Okay. And if we assume that?
So let's just go there. Just go, follow this map, dig a hole, and see. Maybe there's no treasure, okay? Possibility? But let's just find if we're sitting on a fortune or not. If we're not, we can all crawl back into our insignificant little holes.
And if we are?
Well, then that's a whole different kettle of fish, isn't it?
That sounds reasonable enough to me, Mr. Dawson.
Well, I'd agree to that. But what I want to know, Ernie, is just supposing we did find the treasure. What ideas are you going to have about getting us out of there with that syndicate watching us?
Maybe we could fly it out. One of us come in with a helicopter and the others load it on and climb aboard and whoosh, we're off.
I don't know about that. That yacht's supposed to be equipped to deal with any contingency, including our craft. They could shoot us down.
Maybe we could make a run for it in the Lazy Sally.
No.
Well, then, what's your idea?
Well, I don't have one. I'm sure getting curious about the syndicate. Does anyone know who's the head of it?
It's supposed to be this patron named Galiban.
Oh, who lives down the coast from here?
Yes, in a mountain built in the ruins of an old fortress on the cliffs overlooking the ocean between here and Puerto Plata.
Well, what evidence links him to the syndicate?
He owns a 52-foot yacht with a mast just like this one that we see on the horizon. He keeps it hidden in a cove. But I got to look at it once from a distance. It had deck armor.
Oh. Well, okay, let's not worry about them for right now. Now, look, if it's been 3 months since the last time you went out to Caicos, maybe they ain't watching you anymore. But just to be safe, we get on the way after nightfall, huh?
That's right, Chet.
Yeah.
Give him the slip.
We should reach Caicos while it's still dark, and by daybreak we should be digging. And if we find the treasure, like you said, Ernie, we'll take it from there. We left the port shortly after it was dark. And even if the syndicate discovered we were gone in the morning, if all went smoothly on Caicos, we'd have a good head start on them. Of course, if we found what we were looking for, returning to Monte Cristo would be out of the question. So we took extra fuel. Enough to get us to Rum Key in the Bahamas, where we could refuel and press on to Florida in safety. But the first step was to see if the treasure really existed. It was still dark when we reached Caicos.
Okay, Tom. We're near the shoals. Kill the engine.
Hear anything, Mr. Dawson?
No. Are we in the right spot?
Oh, I've got these rocks memorized. Give me the flashlight. There it is. That's the rock. See the markings? 42, 43, 44.
Hey, you're veering to the left.
46, 47, 48, 49, 50. How am I by the compass?
Well, should be the spot.
And right on schedule. The sun's just coming up.
Tom, give us those shovels. And take up a position on a rise of ground with the binoculars. Tell us if the coast is clear.
Yes, sir, Mr. Dawson.
Let's get started.
Now, wait a minute. I want to know if they follow this.
Look, he's signaling all clear. We did it, Chet. Let's dig.
Come on, Ernie. Hold up, will you?
It's got to be here.
Right.
Got it.
Oh, now, look, we're down over 6 feet. There's no sign of anything.
So don't give up now.
Hey, Tom, how's that horizon?
All clear.
What time is it?
It's almost noon.
Almost noon, and no sign of them. You know what that means? They weren't watching us in the harbor anymore. Let's keep going.
Oh, no. Ernie, I just can't dig anymore. The sun is killing me.
Well, we're going to find it.
Look, you've had your look, pal. It ain't here now. Come on, let's go.
No.
Nothing's ever going to satisfy you, is it? You dig the whole island down till it's underwater, and you still keep eating your heart out.
Stop wasting your breath.
Oh, I hate to tell you.
Dig.
I hate to tell you, pal, but I'm not spend the rest of my life on this island.
We ain't leaving till I've found what I've come for.
Ernie, if I have to, I'll take you out of here at gunpoint.
No. Chet, did you hear that? We found it. Look. Chests.
Mr. Chowders! Mr. Dawson!
What is it, Tom?
I just saw it. The mast. The yacht. It just came into view on the horizon.
Oh, no, they can't have.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Oh, that's not fair.
Ernie, calm down, Tom. Look, we think we found it.
You have?
Yeah. Go back and keep watch now. Stay low. Don't let them see you now. And let us know if they make the slightest move towards the island.
What are you going to do?
We're going to break open these chests and see if we have anything worth fighting for.
There. I got the padlock off this one.
Open it up. Holy. Will you look at that?
Oh, bags of gold dust. Coins, silver bars, rubies, emeralds, sapphires. We're rich. Chet, Tom, we are rich.
Leonard Nimoy again, and here's the fourth act of The Treasure of Grand Caicos. It's one thing to find a treasure, and quite another to keep it. 3 of the world's currently richest men are in a unique situation. They are on a desert island in the middle of an ocean, in the immediate proximity of their entire fortune, and they can't move an inch.
Well, now what? We can't sit around the rest of our lives staring at $1 million worth of jewels.
It's unfair. It's just unfair if they'd even show up an hour ago. But getting here just as we found it, it's unfair.
I think there's only one solution.
What's that, Mr. Dawson?
We're just going to have to rebury.
No.
What else can we do?
The shoals. The Barracoa Bank. Where's our map? Where's it? Now. That's it right there. You see? That's our escape. We go over the Barracoa Bank. It's a reef system that stretches north of here for 10 miles. That's 10 miles of shallow water.
So?
Not too shallow for the draft of the Lazy Sally, but it is too shallow for the boat their size. They couldn't follow us without cracking up. They'd have to detour. We could get a head start.
To where? Going across the Barracoa banks would take us in the wrong direction. Straight out into the open water. We'd run out of gas and we'd be sitting ducks.
He's right, Mr. Chowders. Until we can figure out some way to beat that yacht, you've got no choice but to rebury all this beautiful treasure.
We made the trip back to Monte Cristi in silence. We all felt the same way, and looking back on it now, that was the last shared feeling we were ever to have.
I can't understand it. How does a syndicate know every time we move?
All right. So let's try to figure out something out, all right?
You're mighty interested all of a sudden, ain't you? Yesterday you couldn't wait to get to Miami and that landlubbers.
Well, there's a few $1 million in the roar out there, old buddy. Of course I'm interested.
Now, let's not start yelling at each other. Let's have some coffee.
Miami?
What?
Yeah. Let's assume now Ernie's right, that the syndicate has people watching every harbor along the Dominican coast here, huh? But what if we approached it from the other direction?
The open sea?
From Miami. Yeah, I'll go on first by myself as I planned. You two follow later a few days to avoid arousing suspicion. Meanwhile, I'll be looking for something large enough to get us to Caicos.
And fast.
Tom, what do you say?
I don't like any plan that means leaving behind the Lazy Sally.
Oh, the Lazy Sally's no good to us now.
I'd be happy if I never saw her again.
Tom, you in or out?
It's same as signing my own death warrant. Okay.
Good. I'll go back to my hotel and catch the morning bus. Here. Now, there's the address where I'll be staying in Miami. Oh, one other thing, this Mr. Gallivan. Where did you say his place was?
Just this side of Isabelica on the road to Puerto Plata.
Thanks.
Why?
See you in 3 days.
Well, Tom, What do you think?
I don't like the idea of abandoning the lazy Sally.
No, I mean about Chet.
Mr. Dawson?
Something about him's beginning to bother me. He's taking over, acting like this whole thing was his idea.
Oh, I don't think that's what he means to do.
He came up with that plan fast enough, didn't he? Suddenly we're doing everything just the way he wants it. You think he's got something in mind?
I can't imagine any circumstance in the world where Mr. Dawson betray us.
He cut out on us 4 years ago, didn't he? He's always looked out for number one. I want you to follow him. Until he gets on that bus tomorrow morning, I want to know every place he goes.
I left the Lazy Sally for what turned out to be the last time. But I had a strange feeling about something else. Everything I was hearing about the syndicate was funny, and a suspicion was beginning to dawn on me. I needed to check out one thing if I could. I didn't know it at the time. But what I did that evening saved my life. I met Ernie and Tom in Miami as planned, and they seemed cool to me. I didn't pay much attention at the time. I just chalked it up to nerves. Our plan went well, at least until we arrived at Caicos. We'd planned to accomplish the entire operation at night.
It's pitch dark. You said the skies were supposed to be clear.
All right, I don't know, Ernie. I double-checked with the Weather Bureau in Miami, and we came tonight because they said there'd be absolutely no chance of cloud cover.
It's being off the lazy Sally that's responsible.
Oh, shut up, you idiot. We were supposed to dig up the treasure by moonlight and be safely out of here before daybreak. Now it's almost dawn and the whole night's lost.
Can't imagine where those clouds came from. Not a breeze. Captain Kidd himself might as well be protecting that treasure.
I said shut up!
We had to wait for daybreak to begin our work. But within the hour, with Tom on lookout, Ernie and I had dug down to the treasure. It was still there.
That's it. We've got it. Oh, my back.
Yeah. Hey, Tom. Any sign of the yacht?
He's waving all clear.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it.
All right, let's get these chests down to the rowboat and get out of here.
That's the last chest. Let's go back for Tom. And then take off for Miami and Easy Street.
Uh-oh.
What?
Well, look, he's coming. He's running like a son of a gun.
Mr. Dawson! Mr. Townes!
What? Now, don't tell me you saw anything.
It's there.
Oh. The gun!
No. I don't accept that. I do not accept that.
Ernie, calm down.
Chet, give me your gun.
Why?
I'm going after them.
Oh, come on, don't be crazy.
Give me the gun or so help me, I'll swim out there by myself.
Here, Tom. Hold my gun while I go after him.
Okay, Mr. Chowders. I got the gun.
Hey, where is this? Ernie, are you okay?
Nice going, Tom.
Huh?
Keep him covered.
What's going on?
Now, this was our little plan in case something went wrong with yours, Chet. All right, Tom, I'll take the gun. Get the rope out of the rowboat.
Rope?
Stay back. You double-crossing beach bum, I ought to blow your head off. You thought you'd hedge your bets, didn't you?
What are you talking about?
Here's the rope.
Get up on the beach, Chet.
What do you mean, I hedged my bets?
You figured no matter what precautions we took, they might still get wind of it. Oh, you decided to switch sides.
You're crazy, Ernie.
I'm up good, Tom.
Where did you get that idea?
I followed you, Mr. Dawson. The last night on the boat. Followed you to Galliband's estate.
Oh, that's it, huh?
That's it, pal.
Ernie, I just went to try and get a look at his yacht.
I'm sure you did. Is that what swung you?
Nothing swung me. You know, I don't think Galvin's mixed up in this at all. His yacht isn't armed. It's a normal pleasure boat.
You forgot I saw it once too, Mr. Dawson.
Huh?
Only I saw it in broad daylight.
Yeah, and how far away were you, huh? 300 yards? 500? And how old are you, Tom? And just how good is your eyesight?
I tell you, I saw guns.
Yeah, harpoon guns. And your anti-aircraft installations are just fishing rigs.
Oh, you may be selling, Chet, but we're not buying.
Look, I don't even think there is a syndicate. The whole thing sounds like a lot of mythology made up to explain things that had no other explanation.
Like that boat out there?
He's tied nice and tight.
Oh, you can't leave me here.
Oh, your friends out there can pick you up.
I tell you, I don't know who they are. I'll die here.
Get in the boat, Tom.
With the treasure?
Of course. I'm not leaving it behind again.
But we agreed if the yacht showed up, we wouldn't try to take it.
We'll do what we should have done before. Head out across the Barracoa Bank.
That boat's not the Lazy Sally. Her draft's too deep.
Tom, don't force me to shoot you. Now, come on.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dawson. It doesn't look like any of us has much of a chance.
Tom was right. They never had a chance. The boat hit the first reef, and within seconds she was gone. In the crevices between those reefs lie some of the deepest waters in the Atlantic. Tom, Ernie, and the treasure were gone forever.
Chester Dawson watched helplessly from the beach as his two former comrades went to their deaths. But what became of him, and what of the mysterious yacht on the horizon?
Tom knew how to tie a good knot. It was some time before I was able to work myself free. While I struggled, I expected the yacht to sail into view, and when it didn't, my curiosity increased. I found the binoculars that Tom had left behind and climbed to the top of the nearest hill. It was then I saw the sight that kept me from telling this story until now. The ship's mast had not moved. It was still on the horizon. As I stared at it, a flag ran up its length and unfurled in the breeze. First I couldn't make it out. And then I saw it was black, with a skull and crossbones. And then the mast and its flag vanished. The ghost of Captain Kidd had guarded his treasure well.
Chester didn't have long to wait for rescuers. Within the week, another party of would-be treasure hunters came to the island and found him. As he sat alone on the deck of their boat during the voyage home, a thought occurred to him that has haunted him to this day. Old Tom had been right all along. Since the syndicate yacht was an illusion, they'd all be alive and rich men today if only they had stayed with the Lazy Sally.
The Mutual Radio Theater is brought to you 5 nights a week at this time. Tonight's original radio play, The Treasure of Grand Caicos, was written by Percy Granger and produced and directed by Livia Granito. Your host was Leonard Nimoy. Our stars were Tom Brown, Vic Perrin, and Jim Mapp. John Harlan speaking. Associate Director of Mutual Radio Theater is Ken McManus. Sound effects were created by Bud Tollefson. Mark Trella is production supervisor. Recording engineer, Hal McDonald. Music editor, Lee Ringette. The Elliott Lewis production of Mutual Radio Theater is a presentation of CBI.